The Uruguay manager, Omar Borras, expressed disappointment yesterday when I talked to him about the absence of several fine players like Ramos, who plays for Lens in France, Da Silva, who's in Spain, Morena, who is playing his football with Boca Juniors in Argentina, and the young Francescoli, who also plays in Argentina for River Plate. He said that he had only 4 of his first-choice players included in that lineup that you're looking at. Even so, when I checked, I found that no fewer than 6 were in the side which beat Brazil to win the South American Championships. For England been used, their second-choice strip, and Wilkins with the first ball, and Barnes already getting a touch. Montelongo wearing number 4, but playing at right back for Uruguay, whose 2 central defenders wear 2 and 3. Gutierrez number 2, and number 3 is Acevedo. I think we can expect the pace of the game to be not dissimilar from that in Rio. And of course, that is the sort of pace at which the Mexico World Cup will be played. Free kick to England. Kenny Sanson to take. Allen has come out to the left. Hateley on the right. And here's Allen. This is a good chance. Oh, and it's just past the far post. Well, that could have been a memorable start to his first appearance in the starting lineup. He really was only just a whisker away. Took it well. Hateley taking the right position, Allen the left, and Allen fastened onto it, and he was so close. Aguilera. Perdomo. There's coming up from behind. And they got a bit of a deflection and had to be carefully watched by Peter Shilton. Daniel Martinez, the left back, whose shot it was, but it took a little bit of a nick off a defender. Uruguay playing at the start with 2 up, and Cabrera trying to get behind the defence. Well covered by Watson. Had a pretty torrid start to his international career against Brazil, but all credit to him that he came through so well after that start. Martinez with the throw. 5 is Bossio. Cabrera. Aguilera, number 7, Cabrera. And put solidly out for the corner. By Terry Fennick. Cabrera, a big fellow. Aguilera just the reverse, but very quick Aguilera. Away by Wilkins. Mark Chamberlain, who was surely fouled. Chamberlain, who had a good game at the start of this tour. Indeed, the runs that he started to make on the right side really signalled the change of fortunes for England. Mark Hateley. Interesting that at the start, Hateley is making the runs on the right side forward and Allen on the left. Perhaps it's the reverse from what one might have expected. No problem for Montelongo, who didn't play in the South American finals, but would have done had he not have been sent off against Venezuela in the group match. Robson. England starting so much more confidently. Very difficult quality to define. but one has seen it coursing through the veins of the English players since last Sunday, and indeed during the contest of last Sunday. Bossio. Carrasco. A free kick is given. Here's Carrasco again. Pretty much the playmaker on the left side of midfield, but a player who doesn't always play up to expectations. Useful ball by Robson. Looking for Allen. Fortunate slip by the Queen's Park Rangers player. Robson pounding his man. Montelongo plays for Penarol. Penarol and Nacional, the two big teams in Uruguay, and each has 3 representatives on the field tonight. Here's Chamberlain. Oh, getting appreciation, but really should perhaps have seen Martinez coming across the back. Duxbury. Chamberlain. You can see how the ball's bobbling about. Look at that. Terry Fenwick. Allen. Well taken in spite of the arm hold from behind him by Bossio. One or two parts of the pitch are still pretty muddy, and England weren't allowed to train on it. It won't be surprising if the ball zips occasionally. Barnes. Perdomo leaning on him. And the ball had gone out before it was crossed. Ricardo Perdomo. Carlos Aguilera. Touched by Sanson. Some good cover here by Robson. Montelongo's cross. Good header away under a lot of pressure by Dave Watson. And I think that went out for the corner. The linesman's flag is up on this side. But it was a teasing cross. And Dave Watson did well to get it away. But concedes the corner. Perdomo is making the short run for it. And in fact, it was Mark Hakely who got that away. And a great appeal for a penalty. And the referee goes straight and stands on the spot and gives it. It was Acosta who was brought down. And Peter Shilton has to face a penalty as we come up to the 8th minute of the match. Well, you can make your own judgment on it, but the referee had no doubt as Acosta came in from the right side of the area. And penalty it is. And it's Acosta who will take it. And who scores, sending Peter Shilton the wrong way, and runs to milk the applause of the crowd. Well, an unfortunate start for England. So 8.5 minutes now on the clock, and England a goal behind. Well, it's an interesting test for them. Different result in Brazil, and one would be extremely concerned at this stage, but having been with the players for most of the last week, one is confident at this stage of saying that they will roll up sleeves and battle their way back into the match. Wilkins cross. Rodolfo comes for it. Rodolfo Rodriguez and takes it very well. Gutierrez forward. Aguilera here. Thought he should have been given the free kick, but he wasn't. Watson. Fennick. Hastily finding himself sandwiched between two, but not unfairly. It's incidentally the 7th meeting between these two sides. 3 here, 2 at Wembley, 1 in Basel. That was in the World Cup, as indeed was one of the 2 at Wembley. And each side has 2 wins, and there have been 2 draws. Aguilera. Something of a dive in by Barnes. And good play. The Uruguayan ball. But Montelongo getting deserved applause. Sanson, winning his 42nd cap this evening. Good length of throw, met by Bossio. Haitley, good header on. Allen, just unable to get the ball to Barnes, because he was pushed, in the referee's opinion, by Bossio. Sansom. Allen with time to look and see what's around. That's a lovely turn. And again, he's a little unlucky. Oh, Bobby Robson said that he was a player with 2 good feet. And it was very sweet, the turn, and he's very happy to have a crack when he gets a sight of the goal. The turn was good, the shot just wide for the 2nd time. Acosta, away by Fennick. Here's Mark Haitley, who's back in his defence, and the award was given against him for the challenge on Acosta. Offside. All the officials come from Paraguay. 2 linesmen, Oscar Vieira and Carlos Alasso. Haitley, nicely using the chest. Fullbacks are prepared to push forward. They did so well against Brazil, and which they must do with England only really playing too many midfield. They can be overrun if the space is there to be used. Montelongo. And the wingers, as with Barnes there, have to do their share of defensive chore. Wilkins looking for the early long ball. Covered by Perdomo, couldn't make the back pass because Allen was threatening the goal. Bossio forward to Aguilera. Cabrera making the run. And England had men rushing back then, Chamberlain and Robson. Free kick given for the challenge on Wilkins, which he took on the back of the ankle. Robson. 2 forward, 2 just behind the 2 central men. No width on the right at all at this stage. Martinez. Typical South American displays so far in Uruguay. Build up initially slow, but they have players of pace, notably Aguilera. Wilkins looks for Sanson. Robson told Sanson where to play it. Back to Fennick. The brief encampment in the Uruguayan half. Perdomo turned away from his man Robson very well. Martinez losing it to Chamberlain. It wasn't a very good challenge. Still Chamberlain, this is an opportunity, and again it's just wide of the post. Well, there was a pretty old-fashioned challenge in that, and one might say not untypical of Uruguayan football. It was a question of playing the man and not the ball, and Chamberlain really took full advantage of it, and the cross shot was only just past the far post. "15 minutes of the match gone, and England on the wrong end of the score. Uruguay leading by 1-0. The scorer, Acosta, from the penalty spot. Plenty of empty seats there, but there's quite a big crowd a little higher up. It could well get fuller a little later because many people in Montevideo are still working at this hour. It's after 7:15 local time. Dave Watson. Sansom. Hasty wanting it to feet, comes short, goes away. Fennick. Good touch, Robson. Good play by the England skipper. Ray Wilkins looking for the return ball. Tried to play it back to Robson. Easy to say from here, but he might well have gone on his own. England midfield players well forward then. This is John Barnes. Rather a telegraph pass. Duxbury. Chamberlain. Got two to take, and he's prepared to take two. Tripped by the second. With Acosta. Plays for Wanderers and was well in the deep then. Watson has come forward, just in front of Hately there, number 9. The Uruguayans moving out, and Allen very nearly getting on the end once more. Watson cleared off the line, and the Uruguayans in all sorts of problems. It was Bossio who got it away with his head. And Clive Allen, who was once again a threat. Virtual corner with Sansom if he wants to take the long throw, which he does. Aguilera. Freeing the players, got drawn to one man then. Wasn't the best of play by the defenders for a moment, but Sansom able to recover. Well. Again, a rather telegraph pass, and Brian Robson did very well to take that because that really was a pass of the hospital variety. Offside given against Cabrera. We're not being unkind to John Barnes when I suggest that mentally he's still in Rio. Hasn't really settled for this game at all. Fennick. Allen. Made a busy start. One as a substitute late on for Tony Woodcock. He's now replaced because of Woodcock's injury. England can't afford to play it and lose it playing across the field in midfield like that when they're bereft of defenders. And here's Carrasco. Didn't take full advantage of the opportunity. Feel that he should have at least forced Peter Shilton into employment. Bossio. Martinez. Two forward. Duxbury's back pass. Robson with a lot of space. Looks for Hately. Gutierrez who cut it out. Chamberlain. Allen. And Gutierrez, it was too short! The goalkeeper would have felt the knock. I think that the defender might feel the warmth of a few words from his goalkeeper. Barnes. Robson. Free kick. So far the referee, Lucio Gonzalez, right on top of his game. I must say his style of standing on the penalty spot rather than pointing to it when the penalty was given was a little unusual. Stanton to take. Allen moves right to left. Hately is at the back. Watson had moved on in the hope of finding a nod down. Instead it's Martinez who comes away to Carrasco. To Acosta. Again, solid play by Brian Robson. Carrasco. Perdomo allowed to move forward freely. 2 against 2 in the centre. One is Aguilera. Nice play between Cabrera and Aguilera. And Montelongo inside. Beautiful pace, and that's a useful cross, which Duxbury did well to get up to. And the free kick will be given, and the whistles go up for the challenge by Mike Duxbury. What a lovely piece of pace by Montelongo. Suddenly arrived on the scene, and his chip cross was a very good one. Acevedo has come forward, number 3. Perdomo just outside the area. Cabrera coming on in now. Acevedo got the first flick, but there was a little bit of use of an elbow. Although Watson put it over the top of the goalpost, Cabrera, big fella here with a massive curls, pushed him before the defender cleared. Fennick. Good one from the Queen's Park Rangers skipper. Carrasco. Martinez. Uruguay playing with only 2 forward, but they do get extra men up there with pace, and England now do the same. Robson, good change of angle. This is Clive Allen. Messing the pitch as much as the ball. Chamberlain, the pass was too short and Chamberlain was too deep. As there were 4 England players in the area, it's rather unfortunate. Still 3 waiting, marked by 4. Mark Chamberlain. It's good to see him always prepared to take on his man. He gets a corner for that. In fact, he might even get a free kick. Yes, he has indeed. Ball put out, I think, with the hand. Hately joined by number 5, Dave Watson of Norwich City. 7 is Brian Robson, one of 3 Manchester United players in the side. Another one of them, Wilkins, takes it. Hately with a sharp header across the box. Chamberlain. And Peter Shilton coming way out of goal. Stuck to the Grobbelaars. Didn't really make much use of it. Duxbury. He made to play for his adventurous spirit. This is Acosta. Cabrera, Aguilera, and Sanson, roughly the same size. Perdomo, Aguilera. Watson's clearance. Montelongo. Cabrera coming in on it. Away by Wilkins. Bosio. It hit Brian Robson. Cabrera. Carrasco. Brilliant clearance. And it's just past the post. Brilliant clearance by Kenny Sanson. And it was Carrasco who followed it in, I believe. But England really struggling for pace then. They were all over the place. Carrasco shot, the save by Kenny Sanson, and the follow-up wide. Duxbury. Wilkins. John Barnes waiting for it, and he's going to get it because of the defender's error. Montelongo with plenty of time to recover. Carrasco looking for Cabrera. What a variation from the Uruguayans. Happy to use the long ball when the possibility comes. Free kick against Barnes. 26 minutes on the clock. Uruguay leading by a goal to nothing. And they've had other chances. But at their own end, Clive Allen has 3 times been pretty close. And Mark Chamberlain once. That's another match lacking in goalmouth incident. Daniel Martinez. Duxbury, well taken on the chest. Header would probably have given away possession. Bennick. Haitley. Barnes. It was out. I think that John Barnes is... In fact, a free kick has been given for obstruction against him. But I think that maybe a part of John Barnes feels that he has to live up to the reputation he's created for himself. And sometimes tries to do the difficult things rather than the simple ones. Here's Barnes again. Oh, that's a good cross. Haitley with the header. That's the best thing we've seen from the Watford lad yet. I asked him, incidentally, how many times he thought about shooting against Brazil. And his estimate was about 5 before he just walked the ball through the lot and into the net. Chamberlain. Cabrera. Use of the elbow again by the centre forward who's returned from Colombia. Aguilera. Instantly the ball under his control. Once again they get players forward and the shot came. I think one can say already that they look a better side than Brazil did. Their first international since last November when they won the South American Championships by beating Brazil over 2 matches, winning here 2-0 and drawing away 1-1. More good control and no challenge. Bosio. Robson. Barnes. Montelongo tight to him and taking full advantage. Cabrera. Good challenge by Watson. Shot wouldn't have counted anyway because there were at least 2 players offside. And with half an hour gone, Uruguay still leading by the goal that they scored from the penalty spot in the 8th minute of the contest. after Acosta had been brought down by Mark Haitley, who'd come back into the box. Sansom. Barnes. Wilkins. Nicely done by Haitley, and then Brian Robson. And did well to claim it back. Ray Wilkins. Barnes. Now it's a 1 against 1. And he's inside Montelongo, who makes sure that as the ball had gone past him, the player would not. So Rodolfo Rodriguez wants a couple of men on that side. Fair enough. Barnes and Wilkins on the ball. 5 to run from right to left. Allen the nearest to the ball. Haitley makes the move. And Watson at the back manages to keep it in. Duxbury. Oh, that's a good ball straight to John Barnes. Robson and Haitley slightly in each other's way then, I think. Brazilians, Uruguayans have had some good goalkeepers over the years, in particular Ladislav Matakiewicz, who played in the 70 World Cup. Handball. Once more Watson forward. He's taking the right side, Haitley the left. Allen with the run from the right as well. Wilkins. Gutierrez who got it away. Robson. Acevedo successful that time for Uruguay. Signs of increasing English pressure. Here's Watson. Fennick. Well taken by Allen. Barnes. Not being given much room for manoeuvre. Uruguay have a front line of 4. Not a good clearance. Barnes. Montelongo, very adept at playing as a winger. Very quick indeed. Sansom. Barnes. Nice control. Taken by Sansom, but he was saved by Fennick. Barnes. Wilkins. Chamberlain. Again, a faulty pass. Watson. Duxbury. Oh, dear, oh dear. Cabrera just carried on. Like a horse and cart out of control. I don't think Duxbury was too impressed. And the referee didn't like the challenge, that's for sure. Fennick. Martinez. Carrasco. Duxbury. Allen. Wilkins. Sansom. He had come short and the ball was played long. Now Chamberlain tucked in there, and he did that very effectively on Sunday, and he's doing it again this evening. Robson, typical piece of battling, but didn't get him anywhere. Carrasco with Wilmer Cabrera. Is he? Aguilera watched by Sanson in the middle. Sanson times the move forward to perfection. Aguilera offside. Wilkins. Doing a lot for the long ball, Ray Wilkins, but hasn't really found his touch yet. Aguilera. Perdomo. From Bossio. Wilkins. Barnes. Montelongo giving him precious little room. Uruguay manager was in Rio watching England that night, and clearly has given Montelongo the instruction to stay tight to him. Martinez. Duxbury. Allen. Bossio. 8 minutes of the first half remaining. Joined us late. Uruguay leading by the only goal scored from the penalty spot by Acosta, who was the player brought down. Chamberlain. Wilkins. Sansom. Barnes was well inside. Fennick rightly caught in two minds. I say rightly in that he made the right decision in the end. Duxbury. Haitley did well to get that through to Allen. Control let him down that time. But the pitch is cutting up quite a lot down the middle. Bossio. Barnes marking Montelongo. Haitley. Perdomo. Carrasco. Aguilera. Challenged by Watson. Oh, dear. Not so by Montelongo. Had a reputation over the years for not sparing the muscle. We've seen one or two classic ones this evening. Fennick. Watson. Wilkins. Allen in line with the far post, but the ball much too close to the goalkeeper. Ray Wilkins still finding it difficult to measure the long ball. Again, 4 up for Uruguay. And 5 minutes of the first half remaining. Still they lead by the only goal. Chamberlain. Useful, very useful. 2 waiting in the middle and 1 further back. This is Haitley. Nobody coming in behind Haitley, but what about that for battling back to get the ball? Robson. Barnes. No free kick given. moments before half-time be vital for England for the second match running. Certainly had enough possession and offered sufficient threat. To Martinez. Bossio. Half slip, but Watson recovered. Barnes. Offside. Referee allowing play to continue. Montelongo. 6 Uruguayans in forward positions. England pull back all bar 2. Chamberlain. Fennick. Haitley in chase. Gutierrez the defender. Aguilera. Bossio. Rather more the provider, Bossio, than has Carrasco. This is Acosta. Carrasco. Martinez. Sudden change of pace there as he came forward. Allen. This is Acevedo. Chilton available, but Fennick expected to turn and go away. Duxbury. Just over a minute and a half remaining in the half. Haitley, proving a very effective target man and what we've seen of him at international level so far. Perhaps too many occasions when the final ball is a disappointment.
Fucking ball.
Well, the 44th minute. When Barnes scored against Brazil. Here's Brian Robson trying to do likewise against Uruguay. Duxbury. A few moans from the crowd down below me. England ball. Sampson poised for the long throw. Watson is in the area now. There he went, we just saw him. But no chance, the referee a little bit short on our watches, but it's his watch which counts. And the score at half-time, Uruguay leading by the only goal, the goal scored by Acosta after he'd been brought down by Haitley. He himself converted the penalty. England with plenty of possession, but yet to find the way through, but in no way affected by conceding a goal after 8 minutes. And that surely is a sign of how different they feel and how great their confidence is. But they're a goal down at half-time.
Sure, lots of flair, lots of ideas, but they don't waste their effort in chasing back unnecessarily. And that's where we find the difference between Uruguay and Brazil. The defenders really are given the ultimate responsibility of stopping the players at all cost. And so they don't really need forwards. If a forward runs past him, they stop him, they grab hold of him. If the ball goes over his head and he misjudges the pace of it, they just catch it, like we've already seen. This is a type of play that a lot of the players here playing for England today won't have witnessed before, and it'll be very interesting. And no matter what the result, it'll be a great experience for them, and it'll all be money in the bank as far as they're concerned when it comes to the World Cup in Mexico. I'm sure they'll enjoy this experience.
I think that's the important part of this tour. I think that the success in Rio, Bobby Robson is saying, let's keep our feet on the ground, but there's no doubt that he's persevered with his start of playing 2 in the midfield, playing 4 wide. He's done it now for 4 matches, including this evening's match, and things are being learned, and confidence certainly came coursing into the veins as a result of the match in Brazil, and let's hope we can find enough skill to undo any sort of challenge made by Uruguay in the second half. England now attacking the goal to our right. The first man to go down is a Uruguayan, Aguilera. He's only just 20 years old, Aguilera, and Nacional paid money to buy him from the River Plate club here, £150,000, and he certainly proved a good investment for them. Men moving up to the left, this is Carrasco. So this is disappointing from his reputation in the first half, Aguilera. 3 waiting in the box. Carrasco again. Martinez thinking about moving forward. Montelongo on the right. Mark Chambers, he got away in the end. And Watson having to struggle a little bit, but the ball came too fast off Cabrera. Peter Shilton, as ever, quickly off his line. Shilton, who incidentally this evening passes Ray Clements' appearances for England. This is his 62nd. Ray Clements has 61. And that presumably is where it stops, as he said that he felt that his international career should come to an end. Shilton, opposite number, rated very highly in this country, and indeed in Brazil, where he plays for Santos. Fennick's header, away by Gutierrez. Wilkins. The free kick given for the rather late challenge on Ray Wilkins. But I think it's important to the England side that he finds the touch that he had last Sunday, which he hasn't really found on this occasion yet. Fennick with the free kick. Acevedo across. Robson understandably leaving it for Kenny Sansom. Dave Watson's come forward into the area. Allen is already there, and of course is Haley. And not a good header down, and Ray Wilkins with the shot. And wide of the target, which will disappoint him. Even so, good to see him having a crack as the ball came away from the challenge that Hakely made in the air. But he will be disappointed that he didn't exercise Rodolfo Rodriguez. Pace from the back here from Perdomo. Carrasco. Cabrera looking to hit it on the full, but it just got away from him. Got away from Fennick. Chamberlain. He was fouled. England with 2 forward down the middle. Allen coming away. Chamberlain. Ray Wilkins. It seemed as though he'd taken a good position, but it didn't quite work out. Acevedo. Robson. Nicely done. And Robson. Not so well done. On his favoured side. He, like his club colleague, will be disappointed that he didn't make rather more of that. So many Uruguayan players forced to go abroad really to make money, and often their clubs have to sell them to pay them the back wages, which is a problem you may have heard is happening in Chile at the moment. Duxbury, that's the free kick. Well, it's not being given, but I'm sure that was a foul. I suppose many listeners will be saying, no, it wasn't, the referee didn't give it, and he decides, and not a television commentator, and of course they're absolutely right. Flick on, but nobody there. And perhaps not taking enough advantage of Hateley's little flicks. Acosta. He's away from Duxbury this time. Gets a tremendous roar for that bit of cheek. Duxbury got there for the back pass. Duxbury, a player that, if we look at Acosta, that Bobby Robson has shown great faith in through his problems of making crucial mistakes. Situation not unlike that he found at Ipswich in the younger days of George Burley. Pretty strong challenge there from Bossio. Allen, oh dear. Montelongo got it away. Well, perhaps one can be influenced by being with a group of players, but I still feel that if England could get back, that this is a game that could still be won. Daniel Martinez. Chamberlain. That's a fine looking ball, just didn't quite land where it was intended by Aguilera. Oh, that's a great turn, but then he's played it out of play. He's spun too much, even for himself. I think he's a star in the making, is Aguilera. Will be one to note in the Mexico World Cup. Uruguay haven't qualified since '74 when they went out in the first round. It's about time they qualified again. Chamberlain. Nearest player to him in the area is Hateley. Behind him is Allen, and behind him is Barnes. And Robson came forward just arrived a little bit too soon. Wilkins, Allen, Allen again. Well, I said that in the first half, he's not having the best of fortune. He had to rather snatch at that. Quite a bit of battling in the area, but in the end, the ball falling for the shot for Clive Allen, half on the turn and wide of the far post. On the bench, they're beginning to count these chances that are not being taken. Certain frustration. Nicely done. But the finish not there, and the free kick has though been given. Perdomo, the player down, and the player who made the run. One of the representatives from Nacional. Gilson has asked for a five-man wall, just a little right of centre. Carrasco on the ball. Two Uruguayans to the left of the wall, one to the right. The rest all staying back, curiously. So Carrasco is going to tee it up perhaps for Acosta, who's behind him, or is he going to try the curl? He tries the curl straight into the wall. Not a free kick of South American proportions. Gutierrez. The weight of the pass was nice. Acosta. Wanting to delight the crowd, but not impressing the referee with one or two of his balls. Referee not in the mood to be submissive. Barnes. Acevedo. Not a good clearance. Aitley. Barnes. Free kick's been given for the challenge on Barnes. He's trying to come inside. Watson forward again to lend his height to the attack. Adolfo Rodriguez with a good punch, but to Wilkins. And he's onside, is Allen, and looks for the penalty, which he doesn't get. But Acevedo had played England onside by staying back, and that could have been costly. Suddenly the ball came through, and the Uruguayan certainly thought that Allen was offside, but he wasn't, because Acevedo had stayed back. But the ball went away from Allen, and he looked for the penalty, which clearly wasn't there. The kick against Terry Fenwick. Cabrera, the player down. 24 years old. Used to play for Nacional before he went to Colombia. Martinez. Acosta. Bossio. Costa a little flamboyant in style. Allen. Wilkins. Robson. Watson. And here's Perdomo. Montelongo. Players from Nacional and Penarol who play most in this stadium, getting special applause. Ball's out of play. Two sides who usually contest the championship, being led at the moment by Penarol by 2 points from Nacional. Costa dying to turn it on. And that got a deflection for a corner. Cabrera has already taken a position wide of the penalty spot. Great climb, and Haitley again appearing in the left-back position to head the ball away. Martinez. Carrasco. Aguilera. Acosta. Return ball through him is much too long. Wilkins. Haitley available. Space behind him, which Chamberlain now tries to use, but by then, 3 men had got into that space. So we've had an hour of the match. Still the 1 goal dividing the team, scored by Acosta from the penalty spot. Here's Montelongo, lending his weight to attack once again. And Cabrera with the header, but he did too much. Hitting it wide of the far post and not causing Shilton to make any movement. But it was well played through. But he really launched himself at it, got a lot of the movement of the head and gave it too much. Watson. Duxbury. Martinez. Perdomo, Aguilera. Acosta's got away on the left. If anybody sees him, England could be in trouble. They've all been pulled into the middle. The ball bounces a little kindly for them, and here is John Barnes. To Mark Chamberlain. And the free kick has to be given, although the challenge was not a good one. The ball had bounced a little bit unkindly for Chamberlain, and he'd lost control of it. And Uruguay poised to make a substitution. A substitution which explains why we've seen so much of Luis Acosta, who wanted to make his presence felt, because perhaps he knew he was going to be replaced by the 18-year-old Ruben Sosa of Danubio, a young man of whom much is expected. Produced so many great players over the years. I reckon something like 1,500 players have gone abroad to other leagues in 25 years. People like Schiaffino in particular. Good player he was. Haitley.
Yes, Ricky!
Chamberlain. Got a lot to do to get away here, but that's a well-clipped cross. The header again not troubling the goalkeeper, and Alan I think a little disappointed because he was coming in from behind and may have been able to get a stronger header. Maybe his angle was a little bit better too. Carrasco. Substitution is a straight attacker for attacker. Chamberlain denying Sosa a side of the ball. A free kick given against Acevedo. And a very demonstrative referee asking them to calm down. And Acevedo and Haitley both shown the yellow card. Acevedo, who has the looks of a choir boy, but sometimes reacts in a way not expected of that fraternity. Pouring the players just into the area. Goalkeeper backs away. Really haven't given Rodolfo Rodriguez the opportunity to show what he's capable of. Personally, I'd like to see how good he is at bending to pick the ball out of the net. This is Kenny Sansom. Haitley. Barnes. Just not enough on the ball to get Kenny Sansom in. Good play by Aguilera. Seems to have got it all. He's quick, he's aggressive, he gets back and does his defensive work, so he's not concerned about working hard. may not be true of Carrasco. The crowd's not used to this. How many paces is the referee going to allow? Predictably, he's given a free kick to Uruguay, although Ray Wilkins did nothing at all except stand in front of the goalkeeper, which is perfectly allowed in the laws of football. The laws and the interpretation of them does vary quite a lot between Europe and South America. Barnes, little nudge off the ball. No, said the referee, shoulder to shoulder. Cabrera getting the better of Brian Robson. A disappointing ball.
Behind you, Mark!
Carrasco. Perdomo. Martinez. Bit of room for Montelongo. Sosa and Cabrera down the middle. Montelongo linking with Aguilera. Kenny Sanson ends it. John Barnes gives it away. Again, that's giving England trouble. And they've got men over here. Sosa with the header straight into the arms of Peter Shilton. Sosa and Cabrera going together. The youngster, I think it was, who got the header. But they built a nice attack on the right side where their greatest threat has come. But in the end, Shilton able to take the ball quite comfortably. The header coming from the youngster. Hately. Free kick. Against Carrasco. Uruguayans played 15 matches last year and were difficult to beat. They won 6 and drew 7. One of the defeats was by Scotland at Hampden Park, and Duxbury with the daisy cutter across, which was allowed to run. The other defeat that Uruguay suffered was also away in Chile, where England, of course, go on Sunday, to play on Sunday. There is some dispute by the Chilean players about playing in that match because of money they're owed by their clubs. The clubs say they're owed money by the National Association. Aguilera. Montelongo. Cabrera waiting for the header, and he might now get the chance as Watson missed out. Disaster for England. .5 minutes of the second half gone. And really that has to go down as a bad goal from England's point of view, because the cross looked as though it should have been comfortably cleared. Cabrera was prepared for the header, didn't expect to find the ball comfortably at his feet, and he scored with no problem at all. So 2-0 to Uruguay, and optimism really stifled by the error. Barnes for England, and he's tripped, and out comes the yellow card. As England prepare to bring on a substitute, it was Montelongo who was shown the yellow card. And Clive Allen comes off. And the substitution is a surprise because Tony Woodcock was thought not to be fit, but he's brought on for the last quarter of the game in place of the man who'd come in to replace him. Sansom with the kick and over the top. England dressing every player tonight, and the agreement was that 3 substitutes as well as a goalkeeping substitute could be used. But I don't think too many people thought that Woodcock would be fit enough to play. Clearly Bobby Robson, who has shown signs of the king that Tony Woodcock of Arsenal needs pushing a little bit with his injury problems, decides to bring him on. Wilkins caught in possession by Carrasco. Martinez. Good header, under some pressure by Duxbury. But even so, some nice play by the Uruguayan left back. Woodcock. Always conscious of wanting to give every bit of 100%, Tony Woodcock, and when he feels these niggling injuries, it seems to affect his attitude, but he often plays far better than he gives himself credit for when he's carrying a knock. Barnes got away this time. Hately waiting. Oh, that's a vicious curl, but it's very, very well taken. He got a nick off the defender. Acevedo taking no chances. Watson coming up into the area. Good use of chest, but it just didn't quite fall kindly. Carrasco to Cabrera. Played early. Good cover by Kenny Sansom. Wilkins. Fennick. Much of arrogance and Cabrera. Woodcock. He's showing plenty of mobility. Robson. Hately. Wilkins. Robson had gone forward well. Wilkins, that's too strong because the left back Kenny Sansom was offside. And you could certainly look at this contest in a couple of ways. England would feel that the penalty was harsh, and the second goal came directly as a result of an error. On the other hand, they've had more problems than they had against Brazil. Omar Boros is right in saying that he only has 4 first choices in the Uruguayan side. Then if he can get back his best players, they must have some chance of making an impression in the Mexico World Cup. Martinez. Acevedo. Chamberlain. Wilkins. Watson. So nobody. No doubt which side has produced the better quality of passing. And the Another substitute is Vasquez of Bella Vista. Barnes. Woodcock. Rivera. Looking to get a little 1-2 going with Sosa. Chamberlain. Free kick given for the challenge on him. And still playing with plenty of purpose and belief, even if it's not quite going right for them. Now John Barnes. And he's got his free kick right on the edge. Ray Wilkins at pains to point out to the referee he doesn't want any time wasted. Just a quarter of an hour of the match remaining. Uruguay 2, England 0. And Vasquez waiting to come on to replace Montelongo, the player who had taken his place after missing the final stages of the South American Championship. So both substitutions have been of that nature. That's a right back for a right back. Montelongo goes straight to the dressing room. Robson asking for the referee to have the ball back. Macy, Terry Fennick try the curler. Instead, Brian Robson takes it. There's Hately. Oh dear. He was offside anyway, which he would certainly feel rather pleased about. Robson and Fennick there. Robson in the end took it, and Hately moved offside, and fortunately for him so, because he made an awful hash of it. But there's no way that the free kick should be from there. It's several meters back, but it's allowed. Hately. Oh, really was asking the impossible there. Sosa and Watson. Again, a player of pace, and what a good cross that is. Aguilera, Cabrera. Dangerous play given by Cabrera. He attempted overhead. But they really do have a number of quick players, and this young man who's come on is as quick as any. Use of elbows first by Gutierrez. Kenny Sansa making the forward run, but once again Ray Wilkins just not finding the yardage, the range that he was hoping for. That's been one of the differences between Wednesday and Sunday. It's an England throw which Kenny Sanson would take. Barnes, held by Vasquez, not unfairly. Still Barnes. Corner. Got a flick from Barnes. And the Uruguayans coming roaring out. They're outnumbering the England defence, but Aguilera on that occasion didn't make good use of it. Sansom, straight to Gutierrez. Chamberlain. Going into the busy zone, but finding John Barnes. Hately wants it in line with the far post. Kenny Sanson on the overlap. Woodcock. Ray Wilkins directly into the goalkeeper's midriff. Struck very cleanly from some distance, and been said before, but one wishes that Ray Wilkins would do that more often. Have some slightly better opportunities than that one. It was too straight. Coming up to 10 minutes remaining for England to do something about a 2-goal deficit. Carrasco. That's Salazar of Penarol, 21 years old. Another young man to be given a chance. Wilkins. Barnes. Still going. They got very much underneath the shot. Underneath the ball, rather. And the ball deep into the crowd. And England's cause looking extremely difficult now, Bobby Charlton.
Well, yes, it is, Barry. I think possibly what's happening is what should happen, is that Ray Wilkins and Brian Robson have started to go forward a little bit more. I mean, it is an experimental tour when all's said and done, and you might as well be hung for a sheep as a lamb. I think whether we get beat 3 or 4-0 doesn't really matter. We're going to lose this match, it would appear. If we are going to rescue it, the only way we can do it is by getting more people forward. Ray Wilkins and Brian Robson really have had insignificant matches by their own standards, and here's an opportunity for them to maybe get something. If we can get 1 goal back, it might just ruffle them a little bit, and we might get something else. But let's have a go anyway.
And while you've been talking, Salazar has come on to replace Carrasco. And here's Sosa showing his paces. The style that Bobby Robson has opted to play does put a lot of pressure on the 2 Manchester United players in midfield. The shot there from Vasquez. They haven't really quite been on song, as you said. Three up for England. Mistake by Martinez. Barnes. Robson. Acrobatics from Bossio. Here's Salazar. Bumping into his own player, but 3 against 3 here. Cabrera in possession. Salazar. Sosa in the middle. Aguilera. Still Uruguay keep possession. England ball holding firm, and the shot way over the top by Daniel Martinez. Duxbury. Down to 7 minutes left on the clock. Aitley. Chamberlain. Woodcock. Oh, this is similar to his position against Scotland, except there was rather more defence around. Aguilera. Sosa down the middle, good cover by Duxbury. Bossio. Salazar. England looking a little weary and being slightly stretched, but Ray Wilkins back. Bobby Robson, having won his 21st match in charge of England, looks certain to lose his 22nd. Sixth defeat. Acevedo for Uruguay. Crowd not liking the fact that the home team is running on the ball and wasting time. 5 minutes left. Watson's clearance. Vasquez. Barnes with the throw. Danton. Good run down the middle by Robson, but the ball not finding him. Duxbury. Chamberlain coming to the touchline ahead of him, but drawing Martinez as well. Woodcock looks a little disappointed. The England players who really felt that after beating Brazil, they were capable of going through this tour unbeaten. It's been a setback from that point of view. As Bobby Charlton said, it's very much a learning tour. And although they're going to lose this, there's certainly not been the lack of confidence that we saw in matches against Wales and indeed against the Soviet Union. Maybe at the end of a long season, the England manager has found that the motor of his side, the two players we're looking at there, the motor of the side has lost a little bit of its fire. Martinez, appeal for handball by 3 England players, but the referee not giving it. Duxbury's had a tidy match tonight. Three minutes remaining. Crowd in the main staying to see the end. Salazar. Perdomo beaten by Brian Robson. And Perdomo didn't like the way that he was beaten because Robson was stretching for it, but the reaction really was somewhat unnecessary. It was simply a stretch for the ball, and the foot did come up a little high, but it was nothing vicious. The referee's given a free kick and shown the yellow card. Plenty of Uruguayans around him, but I think the name that he's made a name note, probably only a number note, is that of Brian Robson. Aguilera on the ball. Salazar just to the right. Cabrera, the big man, on the edge of the England wall, jumping up and down. And Aguilera tries the chip and got deflected off the wall for the corner. Stilton applauds the fact that the wall did its job. Well, England were beaten here in 1953, 2-1, won here in 69, drew in 77, and losing 2-0 on this occasion. Ball just won't run for Mark Chamberlain. And he's run into trouble. And we're into the last minute of England's second match of their South American tour. And the 2-0 victory in Rio is to be followed by a result of exactly the opposite proportions in Montevideo. Martinez with the throw. Cabrera. And he got his foot there first, then Barnes, then Woodcock. He's quite the distance he came on, makes one wonder why he wasn't fit enough to start. Barnes. Gutierrez. Aguilera. Much too strong. The referee is now playing what time he has noted for the odd stoppage, including the bookings. Duxbury for England. And the final whistle is blown, and England have lost the second match of their tour by 2-0. The goals themselves unfortunate. The second one from the man in the picture there, Cabrera, after a mistake. For the man with him, David Watson, after Acosta had scored the goal in the 8th minute from the penalty spot after the referee adjudged that he was tripped by Mark Hateley. A disappointing result, but even so, the spirit in the England side is certainly gaining in strength from this tour, and it will be interesting to see how they react to this reverse after the success of last Sunday. The final score in Montevideo, Uruguay 2, England 0.
Well, indeed, it will be interesting to see how they recover really from that defeat. If you're a patriot, you're still watching